Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Wells Fargo Autograph credit card. So I'm going to be going over the main features of this credit card, its biggest pros, its biggest cons. So hopefully by the end of this video you should have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. Now, before I dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive a few free stocks, in the description box below, I will be leaving a couple of different links where you can receive just that if you are interested. So jumping right into the main content, the main features of the Wells Fargo Autograph credit card. Starting out, if you're able to spend at least $1,500 in purchases within the first 3 months of having this credit card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 30,000 points. That's equivalent of $300. In addition to that, you'll also be receiving 3x points per dollar spent in 6 different categories. So these categories include at restaurants, on travel, gas stations, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans. Now, on all other purchases not in these 3x categories, unfortunately, you will only be earning 1x points per dollar spent. Now, as far as redeeming your rewards go, you will have a few different ways of doing so. So you can either redeem them for travel, redeem them for gift cards in $25 increments, redeem them for purchases as long as the purchase was at least $1, so basically a statement credit. And finally, you can also use them through PayPal whenever you're shopping online. Another very important main feature of this credit card at the moment is the fact that they are offering a special 0% intro APR for the first 12 months. So if you have a bunch of larger transactions coming up that you want to pay off slowly over time, you could put them on this credit card and then slowly pay them off over the next 12 months. Now, after those 12 months expire, your APR will go up, so you will want to make sure that you pay off those purchases in full before your APR kicks in. That way, you don't have to pay a bunch of interest. With this credit card, you'll also be receiving some extra perks as well. So starting out, you will be receiving cell phone protection. So you'll be getting up to $600 of cell phone protection against damage or theft as long as you pay your monthly cell phone bill with this credit card. Now, keep in mind, this will be subject to a $25 deductible. You'll also receive auto rental collision damage waiver, which covers theft, damage, valid loss of use charges imposed and substantiated by the rental company, administrative fees, and reasonable and customary towing charges to the nearest qualified repair facility. You also want to read some of the other fine print with this as well, because certain vehicles may not be covered. And keep in mind, you must decline the rental company's collision loss / damage insurance and pay for all of the costs to rent the card with this credit card. And finally, you'll also be receiving Credit Close-Up, which is basically their version to keep you up to date on your credit score and ways to improve it. And just like other credit cards as well, you also have zero liability protection, which means that if someone steals your credit card, whether the physical card or online, and go off and make a bunch of larger transactions with it, you will not be held liable to pay for those unauthorized transactions. Okay, so now that I went over the main features of the Wells Fargo Autograph credit card, I'm now going to dive into the APR and fees, because this is also super important as well. So starting out with the APR, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, for the first 12 months, you will have a 0% intro APR, which is definitely something that you can take advantage of if you have a bunch of larger transactions coming up that you want to slowly pay off over time. However, after the first 12 months, like I said, you will want to make sure to pay off your card in full, because your APR will then be shooting up to either 19.74%, 24.74%, or 29.74%, of course, based on your credit worthiness. Now, for balance transfers, your APR from the account opening will be either 19.74, 24.74, or 29.74%. Plus, there's going to be an intro fee of either $5 or 3% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever is greater for the first 120 days from the account opening. Then after that, it's going to be up to 5% for each balance transfer with a minimum of $5. Now, as far as cash advances go, which I always strongly recommend staying far, far away from, there is going to be a fee of either $10 or 5% of each cash advance, whichever is greater. Then on top of that, there's going to be an APR of a whopping 29.99%. Now, thankfully, there is no annual fee with this credit card, which means that you don't have to sit back every year and wonder whether or not it's worth it paying an annual fee, whether or not you're getting enough benefits back to make it worthwhile to pay an annual fee, because with this credit card, there is no annual fee. And then on top of that, there's also no foreign transaction fee. So if you do happen to travel abroad, this is a credit card that you can definitely take with you because there is not a foreign transaction fee. However, with this card, just like any other credit card out there on the market, you'll definitely want to make sure to pay on time, because if you do happen to pay late, there is going to be a late payment fee of up to $40. But now that we went over the APR and fees of this credit card, now I'm going to quickly go into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons of this credit card. So we're going to start out with the pros, and the first pro in my book is the fact that you are going to be earning those 30,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $1,500 in purchases within the first 3 months of your account opening. Again, that's an equivalent of $300. So that's a sweet little bonus there. Then on top of that, the second pro in my book is the fact that you're going to be earning 3x points in 6 categories. So you're going to be earning those 3x points in so many categories. And again, those categories are going to be restaurants, travel, gas stations, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans. And then finally, for the first 12 months, you are going to have a 0% intro APR. So that's something that you can definitely take advantage of. There is no annual fee with this credit card, so you don't have to sit and wonder whether or not paying an annual fee is worth it for the benefits that you're receiving. And then if you happen to travel abroad, this is a card that you can take with you because you're not going to be hit with any foreign transaction fees. So those are the biggest pros of this credit card that I would consider. Now, as far as the cons go, I really can't think of too many, other than the fact that those categories, other than the 3x point categories, everything else is going to be just 1%. So if you go to get groceries, groceries are not a 3x point category. So you might want to consider getting another credit card for groceries. Perhaps you could consider the Citi Custom Cash credit card, which I also did a review on as well. You can search that on my channel. With that credit card, you're going to be earning 5% cash back in your top spending category. So perhaps you could use the Citi Custom Cash credit card whenever you go out and get groceries, and then use the Wells Fargo Autograph card on the 3x point categories. There's also the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, which is going to be earning 2% cash back on all transactions. So perhaps you could have both the Wells Fargo Autograph card as well as the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, and use the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card in every single category where you would normally be earning just 1x in cash back. So that's something that you could consider as well. And then finally, the only other con that I can really think of with this credit card is unfortunately the fact that in order to be approved for this credit card, you must have a good to excellent credit score, which means anywhere between 690 to 850. Now they're going to factor in other things as well, not just your credit score, but for the most part, your credit score should be somewhere within that range. Now, just to sum things up here, all in all, just the mere fact that you're going to be earning 3x points in so many categories provides so much value. Plus, you're going to be earning those 30,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $1,500 in purchases within the first 3 months. There's no annual fee, there's no foreign transaction fee, and then you're also going to have the 0% intro APR for the first 12 months. So there's a lot of perks with this credit card, not a lot of bad things. So yes, I would definitely recommend it. But that's all I have for today's video. I definitely hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.